How are you today? All right, so today I saw that a creator that I follow is going live about a selling sunset um, real estate agent, creator, person, thing, actress. What's the name for people in the show? Cast member? Yeah, I'm gonna. There we go. Well, she's the real estate agent and cast member. I don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or use the wrong words. I just don't know the right words. But she is a human being. So there we go. Fucking But so this one person's getting sued by their employee. Bre, is it Tiesi? Bre Tiesi or is it Tiesi? I don't know how to say her last name either. Tiesi? Tiesi? Teisi. Anywho, so she is getting sued by an employee, and I don't know a damn thing about that, but that is the next live stream I'm gonna be watching. After this, hosted by Boss Attorney Bri, I'm gonna watch one of her live streams on all of this, and that is linked in the video description. Let me show you. So this video right here is what I'm talking about, linked in the video description. So hopefully you guys, if you see me this, you can join me there if you happen to see this before it starts, or hopefully you could join me, see it on the replay. If you're interested in this type of thing. Hey Smalls, how you doing? Hope you got there safely. It's good to see you. Uh, fucking, yeah, I just wanted to nerd out about some marketing shit because I actually don't think the bitch that Bree's talking about, the Bree that Bree is talking about, that's funny. Well, I'm just calling people bitches too. I feel bad for calling that bitch a bitch, but I call general people a bitch, not like that bitch is a bitch, but that bitch is a, I don't know, but bitchin'. All right, fucking sorry, whoops. But so moving on, I am probably will end up talking about her though because there are deals in my head I want to talk about that's not in what we're gonna watch, but I figure we could do like a reaction to this like Netflix promotional material about what they're calling the top negotiations on Selling Sunset. And I thought it would kind of dystopian actually because my last perceiving in the evening live was on settler colonialism in the United States. And I think from the perception of how real estate is tied to fucking like gentrification, genocide, and all of that. Um, fucking, like, and environmental racism too. And all sorts of, things that I'm not the person who should be speaking on, but I want to acknowledge it. But I'm working on that balance, too. Like, fucking, because this is some last minute live. I just ramble on. But fucking, yeah. Yeah, so I think it's kind of dystopian, and then I'm gonna try to remember to link that live I'm talking about. Oh, hey, Augusto, how are you, Deaf Peruvian? I'm over here like I'm out of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, how are you? Good to see you. But yes, so we've got deaf and hearing people here today. I like that. Fucking yeah. Um, so I'm gonna just start the damn thing because y'all know I talk way too much. My bad. Hi, my name is Lexi, also known as and doing business as Deaf Child. In 2022, my company was listed as number 14 Best Louisiana Events Companies and Startups. I have been doing business as Deaf Child since 2013. I have my Bachelor of Science in Music Industry Studies and Business Administration, and deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. And I've got about 50 certifications in marketing and sales that you can find at noladeafchild.com. Yeah, so call him bitch is a bitch, the Anderson .Paak song gets in my head every time, but if I call you a bitch, it's because you're my bitch. But, is that okay for me to say? I don't know. But, I like that song. But yeah, fucking, alright. So they had 3 deals in here that I figured we could talk about. And then I've seen the entire Selling Sunset series, but I haven't seen this specific video that we're gonna watch before. Um, So I thought about calling it a blind reaction because I haven't seen the video, but is it a blind reaction if I've seen all the scenes? You know what I mean? I've seen the seen it before. Okay. Um, so yeah, I think I have to mute myself, but I'm gonna like just kind of do a little bit of reaction, ramble as I go, and then probably ramble about the other deals because actually, since I haven't seen this before, I don't know which three that they've shown. Um, I just saw like if I could give $1 for every fucking cuss word, like fucking every time we say it, you'd be rich. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if I had $1 for every time I curse, I would probably have had generated more wealth in my lifetime than Bezos and Elon Musk put together. But fucking come to New Orleans. We miss you too. We'll go out to eat and we'll go to all of your favorite places and yeah, enjoy it. Fucking the city's gonna be underwater soon, so it's a good idea to come visit. I feel like we probably have like 26 years. I think New Orleans is gonna be underwater by 2050, and then I think New York City is probably gonna be like another 20 years behind it. Is it a Barbie movie trailer? It's not a Barbie movie trailer, but it is just as much as rooted in white feminism as Barbie. So let's talk about that. Sorry, because white feminism and capitalism go together like a girl boss. So that sounded really weird. I don't like the way I can't even say like it's just I don't know. Not to separate myself from my whiteness though, because I am white. Like, because when I talk about like not liking things white people do, I don't mean to act like I'm not one of them. Cause I don't like myself either. But fucking, we're working on it. I do love myself, but I don't like things about myself. But it's a cycle. It's a circle of life. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like this. Let's watch the damn thing.
So this house is fabulous. I would live here in a heartbeat.
I love the kitchen. The kitchen is amazing.
Yeah, it's
Right?
really.
You know what they should do for all of these shows? Like, what I want to see, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to do this, but what I think would be kind of cool to see would be if somebody did like um, a rewatch of all of these real estate shows because there's so many, and then like overlaid it would show what was the original land this multi-million-dollar mansion was built on and what historical events happened on this property throughout history, you know what I mean, like type things. And then we can look at the atrocity of which people have built their wealth on. That would be kind of cool. Like I'm not the right person to be doing it, but the idea is in my head. If maybe I could fund it one day for somebody else to do. Um, but fucking like that's something I kind of want to see. Like I would be really interested in that.
Really
Yeah,
modern,
the kitchen
which I
is
think
great. I love it.
they did a great job with.
And I like how it's really open and airy.
We've got the basketball court and the barbecue.
So Scotty Jr. can practice his foul shot.
So what they're doing right here is an example of lifestyle marketing. So this is a very expensive offer. It's a multi-million-dollar house. So you don't just go into the house like this is a bunch of money and here's all the stats and analytics. Like on one end you need to know the stats because if you don't know something or if you don't have access to the information, then they don't think you know what you're talking about and then they're not going to buy from you because you don't know shit. But they might get the house, but they ain't getting it from you. Is I think something that I've heard in one of the real estate shows I've been watching, but I'm blanking on which one it is now because I was about to guess, but I don't want to fuck it up. So that's not a quote from me. It's a quote from one of these shows. Fucking, I've seen too many of them. But yeah, fucking. No, I'm blanking. I thought I remembered, but it's gone. Sorry. Fucking yeah. So what they're doing is focusing on the lifestyle, and they're trying to get him to imagine what his life would be like So it's a multi-million-dollar house. These agents, some of the agents have a lot of properties, but some don't. So it's a lot of pressure to have to sell this shit. So, it's hard to get a listing, and it's even harder to sell it. Um, Again, so when you got people in, you don't want to be kind of focused on the numbers or focused on trying to convince them to like the house, but if you can help them see themselves in the house, then they might be more likely to buy it if they can imagine their life there.
Shots right there.
Right. Really private. I love the pool.
I love the view of the valley also.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel like you're out of the city just a little bit.
Just tell me there's like a huge closet in the master.
There is a huge closet that I'm excited to show you right beside.
Let's go.
Price is so important. So what I've done is actually I've met, you're not the only brokers. I've met with other
I
people.
believe it. The important thing is to just kind of take in all the factors. I mean, you've done such a great job with it, but then, it is vertical, so some people are going to want a little flatter.
So the way the video we're watching presented itself at the beginning, I thought it was going to kind of show us more of like house per house, like what was to sell, what was a negotiation type thing, but I guess that's not what's happening. Because it looks like different houses, or am I Tommy Chonged out? That says turn, but I said Chong. But yeah, so like all these kind of things, like what she's doing, in some way she's trying to create a type of customer relationship. Anytime you're negotiating, it's about building customer personal relationship. So the whole banter thing and teasing and gesture and joke, if they kind of in the moment, like if you can get to where someone feels they're more like a friend with you than where they don't feel closed off emotionally with you in a business transaction, then you can be more likely to make a deal go your way if you need to talk it into one way or the other. So that seems to be this person, Chrishell's strategy here that we've been seeing. That was an accident. I don't know what the fuck that
So this
I
house
did
is
there.
fabulous.
I think it was around 50 seconds that we left off at. That was my bad. Oops.
A little flatter. I'm hoping that you're thinking.
Ooh, got a comment. It said, so we are reviewing how to become a real estate for rich people. So what we're doing is analyzing the methods in which, because here's why I'm obsessed with studying marketing, right? Because it's like, I have a video, it's like a 15-second clip. I forgot how long it is, but I have a video that I published. It's on my page. It's in the playlist, one of the playlists. It's from like 5-10 years ago. No, is it from 5-10 years ago? It's probably from 2021. I don't know. Time is weird. But I had a video where it's just like, we're in a pyramid scheme. It's called capitalism, right? Because I fundamentally just disagree with everything about capitalism. And then the whole construct of me doing marketing, like, why am I doing marketing in the social construct of capitalism if I disagree with capitalism, if marketing supports capitalism in the way in which it can be used under capitalism as a business model? Well, first, marketing has existed before capitalism. You know what I'm saying? Marketing is kind of to businesses what washing dishes is to a restaurant. Every restaurant has to wash dishes or it's just unsanitary. Well, every business has to promote themselves or they're not bringing customers in, And so what I wanted to analyze is the marketing and sales strategies in which is being represented. Now, some of these strategies, a lot of what's happening here is entirely scripted in terms of it's not necessarily word for word, but like the pointers of what is going to happen is kind of scripted in a way. So it's not necessarily that I think this is like a real deal in front of us, but I do think what is happening in front of us, because it's a representation of various things that can happen in negotiation, can be good things to talk about because, we do live under capitalism and under this construct. It's either make money and live or be broke and die, pretty much. Like, not really, but kind of. Basically, I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it kind of does to me. But You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's about redistribution of the wealth and resources, right? And then it's also about looking at the way they think about the money they have and about the resources. And I've been noticing, for example, like back to this last Perceiving in the Evening video I did on how Mormons colonized the United States, they were talking about how they were self-sufficient for the way they colonized the United States, but there was nothing self-sufficient about it. It's all based on exploitation, genocide, etc. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to me also to see the way people under capitalism rewrite history with what they're doing but you know what I'm saying, like, so it's like, yeah, this is displaced native land and they're over here talking about a walk-in closet and a basketball court. You know what I mean? It's very dystopian, and it's kind of like this thing, I can't stop looking at it but observing it, but I live inside of it but I don't like it. You know what I mean? But in regards to like marketing existing before capital, like marketing is used under capitalism in order to generate leads, so therefore it's a tool of capitalism that can be harmful. But marketing itself is a tool. You know what I'm saying? It's what humans do with the tool that makes it harmful or helpful, right? So before capitalism ever existed, marketing has always existed. Hieroglyphics and Drinka is how I think it's pronounced. Also ancient African like pictographs, so those types of visuals, and then also even like with the Mesopotamians and the ancient Greeks, how they would brand pottery, those types of visuals and signs that they would do to lead people to certain places, that is all by definition marketing. Um, so, you know, even a lot of books are considered marketing. And we think of them just in terms of literature, which they are, but they're also advertising. Um, but yeah, fucking, I could go all day about this shit. So I'm over here like, let me turn a 4.5 minute video into, you know, like over here just like, let's see, I haven't done, you know, maybe I should pull these up more.
One eternity later.
But yeah, fucking, so, let's keep doing this, bitch.
Under 800 per square foot. I was thinking around 4 or 5. What are your thoughts?
I mean, of course I'd like to get more. So I'm gonna put my faith in you guys and give you the listing.
Yes.
Hope for the best.
Very peaceful.
So the way that they were able to convince them to get their trust. I noticed that she was using the method where you under promise and then you can over deliver on what you under promise on. Tends to be the strategy represented here, and I kind of think that can be a good thing to do, because if you go under than what you want to do, that way if you can't meet those expectations, you're more likely to still surpass their expectations. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, managing expectations and deals is hard.
Very zen vibes.
Very zen
like what he's
vibe,
done with the
right?
grounds.
Yeah. It's 9-bedroom and 12 bath.
Okay, he just got.
I love how they're saying, look at what they've done with the grounds, but if you look into like things that are happening with weather in California right now, particularly with landslides and everything like that, and flooding that comes with various weather events, and you think about how humans, and by humans I mostly mean white people, through capitalism and genocide, have rearranged the land from, you know what I'm saying? They've completely changed the way the land should naturally be, versus native people went with the land, you know what I'm saying? But like, so I think that's interesting. They're like, look at what we did, as if, and then it's like right now, but in reality, it's all coming apart in a way. If you look at what's happening with the environment, but maybe I'm just like, because I've never been in California, I actually have no clue what it's like there. I've only seen what I've seen on the news regarding particular events happening. But I just feel like I have, lived in New Orleans most of my life, and I've lived in Mississippi, and seeing climate change occur here, I just feel like, and understanding the way climate change is happening as well. It's just like, I feel like, things aren't going to stay well for investing into these real estate things. I don't know the words to use. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Got back to me. 2.625.
Hey Aaron, it's Maya.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, so the good news is we got a counter. The seller came back at 2.625. So he did came down 75,000. So let me just talk to Brett and hopefully we can make this happen.
Thank you very much, Maya. I really appreciate it.
2575. You should work your client because it's a great offer. I mean,
It's not a great offer, but it's reasonable.
It's close. I mean, if he's reasonable, he should take it.
All right.
So, in this scenario, Maya is bidding way lower than what Brett's client is asking for. Well, not Maya, Maya's client rather, but Maya's client through Maya. They're bidding way lower than what Brett's client wants. But the way I think that she's able to kind of make that deal happen here are a few different factors. The most important one being the relationship. Oh wait, you're in California, Smalls? Hell yeah, I'll come visit. Fucking, am I like over imagining or over embellishing how like the smokability of marijuana in California? Like, is it chill to just like be, light up there? Like, because in New Orleans it's technically decriminalized, but it's, and like, no one socially usually gives a fuck if you smoke weed here, but like, police wise, you're not technically supposed to just be lighting up and smoking weed here. But then if it's like a big enough event, you can just blame it on anyone. Just kidding. But just be over there like, yeah, it was that white guy with the dreads and the Grateful Dead t-shirt. Just kidding. But fucking climate change is kicking our ass, man. Shit, what the fuck was I saying, y'all? I'm sorry I'm like this. Hold up. Oh yeah, I was talking about the Maya bitch and the way. So the business relationship was one of the first fucking people to fucking the business relationship was one of the most important reasons that she's able to make this deal go through, even though she's going way lower than what the client what his client wants. Her and her client's going way lower. So her relationship to him is part of how that is working out, because if he didn't like her, he could literally just be like, no, because I can just wait a little bit and get an offer closer to what my client wants and make more money. But then the way he's able to sell it to his client in a way to be like, look, even though this is lower, you would have to wait longer for the money to come through. Like, this would be like, this is going to happen now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Those can be ways to make deals happen, because I wasn't paying attention to the specific numbers, but I think that the difference was like 500,000 or something, or like they had come down 75,000, but then like at that one point in the conversation we were seeing, but I think the total negotiated difference, if I remember from this scene, was higher. But fucking, she said cannabis is smoked more than tobacco out there. Damn, man, like it is here, but we're supposed to act like it's not, right? Fucking, also, they changed it used to be like when you were 18 you could smoke tobacco here, but they raised it to 21. Probably like, I don't know, I think it was about 5 years ago. But I was just like, damn, that's interesting to me. I wonder if that's reducing tobacco addiction. But I feel like now everybody's just getting the vapes, which I feel like is worse and for the environment and for, human rights issues wise, on issues that I feel like I'm not equipped to speak on regarding what's happening with like this. Is the Congo I know the genocide is happening there. I'm blanking. I know I've recently heard about what was called a silent genocide, and now I am blanking on which African country that occurred in. But that is my ignorance and potential racism speaking out there. But fucking oh, dispensaries everywhere. Damn, man, that's like going to a candy store. That's like taking me to my own version of like Six Flags or some shit. But yeah, man. So fucking I think time limits with the offer and the business relationships are the major way that they're able to like negotiate a deal down, even though like you know what I'm saying, like they were asking for higher in this case. And this all happened to this was filmed also, if I'm not mistaken, this episode was filmed not too long before COVID hit and all of that. And I feel like after all of that, housing market sucked way harder. So that would have been an even harder deal too. So part of that was also about the time period economically in which we were in as well. And I think that's very interesting how that impacts particularly major purchases. All right, let's see if I can get through more of this.
I'll know in a minute.
It's a good one.
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Opening escort.
Good job. I'm gonna draft it up right now.
Mary, sorry to interrupt, guys.
Okay, so you see that text he had sent to his client. We got him up. We're good. So now, in reflection of noticing and processing that, so now it looks to me like Brett may be hounding his, and the agents in that negotiation process acting like he needs more money than he needs in a way, or like the client's not going to take the deal the client would take in a way because he's still trying to get the client more money, which I think is funny because he was acting like that number would be a problem, but it wasn't.
Bedrooms, 3 in the main house, and then the 4th bedroom is the guest apartment.
That's correct.
Right.
Even though I own the brokerage, I'm also an active real estate agent. It gets complicated. You know, technically I'm on both sides of the transaction, and I want to represent my agent's interests and my client's interest.
Good seeing you.
You too.
I'll give you a call a little bit later.
You know what I want to pay?
So I'm over here like, I think I'm a fucking hypocrite because part of me is like, yeah, I'm an anti-capitalist, and part of me is like, I want to be so rich I can tell somebody, you know what I want to pay. Oh, damn, silent genocide happening in the Congo. Fuck, man. I want to get, because right now I'm like barely keeping myself afloat, but whenever I can get to like where I'm more sustainable, I want to be able to like, just be able to pay for different people to come on to my platform to say whatever the fuck they want. It could be to raise awareness about an issue. It could be to share joy. It could be whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. Because I don't want to be like just asking people to exploit their trauma for my platform. You know what I mean? But then like I also feel like there are things that I wish that I could be speaking on my platform, but I'm not the person who should be speaking on those things. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I don't know, but then I also just want people just to fucking vibe. You know what I mean? That's why I try to balance. I got with my content. I'm all over the damn place, and I don't even give a fuck. But yeah.
It's another one of my babies.
You have a lot of babies. This is exactly why I like development properties. It can pay off. The quicker, the better.
4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, so it's a good size. This is the living area.
You see, I don't, like, this is an interesting video to react to because of the way that they are meshing the deals together. Because right now, they literally just switched from Maya to Heather, and that is so bad that I've seen this show enough to where I know this next cast member is without seeing her on the screen yet. And I'm hard of hearing. So that's how you know I've just seen the show too much by recognizing no voice. But fucking yeah, the development thing is what I find very interesting about real estate, because that part of these show in the actual entire series shows them, you know, doing the whole like process. I don't know if they show like the bulldozing, but they show like the tractor with like the claw thing. I don't know what the fuck that's called for real good, but like, and scoopy scoops where you like do the shovel, bro. I don't know the right words to use, but those things. And I did. Okay, so in New Orleans, Smalls, as you know, with Kenner, it's like people will be like, you ask someone for who's from Kenner, where they from? They go, I'm from Kenner, bruh. And I started saying it ironically, and I can't stop. I can't stop. Can talk about medical apartheid and sickle cell all day long for free. Well, if you ever want to do a live together, you know, we can just ramble. But whatever, or we can do either a focused one, or we can do a ramble one about whatever the fuck we want. So I'm gonna Discord you about that, if that's cool. But no pressure. Because that would actually be really interesting. I know a bit about different aspects of types of medical apartheid, particularly as it pertains to the deaf and disabled community. But you might know about the disabled community too. There's gonna be there's an overlap. I don't know a damn thing about sickle cell. I really don't. To be honest, like, I don't know the definition. I don't know the first thing. I know maybe it has something to do with your cells. I said CLELLS, not yourself, but whatever. Alright, fucking, but yeah, I was like talking about the development. I just think that's interesting with this real estate too. Because on some levels it's interesting to see, ooh, neurodivergence in women and black people. Yeah. Fucking, I've been debating whether or not to do a trauma dumping story about my mental health, but I feel like I would get put into a mental health institution if I talk about that. And I'm laughing about that because it's him. That's not me joking about something I haven't experienced though. So, but yeah, so I would honestly love to, because particularly I know that like there's already like these talks about how all of neurodivergence is focused on men, not women, but it's also all focused for the benefit of white people and not anybody else. You know what I mean? Not to group or lump anybody who isn't white together. I don't know what words to use, but because, you know, I'm white, I don't know the perspective what other people go through. Am I using the right words? I don't know if I'm using the right words. Yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let you talk about that. But yeah, I know those issues really do matter to me. It's like weird too. I want to do a live about my decolonizing journey because I'm like, look, like, just to sum it up from like how I started decolonizing to where I am now, because I got so much shit I need to work on. I think it will kind of help me process like, where am I in terms of I don't know, like working on myself, and then maybe look back on it one day. I don't know. Yeah, fucking. But no, I really love that you share things like that because I think that's cool. But also must be hard to. But why am I drafting? Because I don't know anything about anything. Well, I was just gonna say like, cause now I'm applying it. Cause like from a deaf experience, and like there's not black deaf people, but there is. But you know what I mean. But like there's I'm usually the only deaf person in the room. There's not always, you know, unless I go into a deaf space. If I'm like out in the wild, there's not usually other deaf people out there unless I'm specifically going to deaf spaces. You know what I mean? So it's like really hard to constantly be trying to talk to hearing people about ableism and autism because they don't fucking listen to me because all of them agree they're not ableist or autist and there's more of them than me. And if all of them think they're not ableist, then they must not be. So, you know, but, and I know I'm not supposed to like apply my issues to other people's issues, but I feel like I see white people do the same thing to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if that's okay to say. But I feel like it's just like a facet of white supremacy. It's like a white supremacy facet, culture aspect thing. I don't know. All right, I talk too much. I'm gonna watch this damn thing. I don't know how I got here. I'm either you're welcome or I'm sorry for that. And I think I've said that expression a few different times in my lives before, and I'll probably keep saying it. Yeah, but it's not to be dismissive of any harm I cause. It's just to acknowledge how ignorant I am. All right.
Yeah.
Mary, I just got the offer from Amel.
For Sunset Plaza?
Yeah.
What is it?
2.9 million, best and final.
2.9? We're asking 3.2.
It's an offer.
Jason, that's a shit offer. I'm gonna get another buyer to make a better offer.
She's telling her client not to take my offer. Awesome.
They shouldn't take that. You know, like, they are gonna lose money.
I think it's risky not to take it.
I think the difference, wasn't that difference like a $30,000 difference? And she's like flipping out. Was it 3.9 and or 2.9 and she wanted 3.2? That's a $30,000, or is it 3.9 million? That's 300,000, huh? Oh, can relate to being the only one in the room. It is rough sometimes. Yes. Yeah, I get that. And then, yeah, I've been thinking about what does it mean to be a safe space, because I don't think I am one. Not in like an I don't want to be one way, but in more of like an I'm way too fucked up to know how to be one way. You know what I mean? Cause I just, that comes with, well, that comes with trauma. That explanation comes with trauma dumping and a bunch of personal unloading. Like, whatever. It's not like, not whatever, but I don't know. Ugh, I'm processing my life and myself. I appreciate you. So yeah, fucking, because I'm like, there are like days where I'm like, okay, I'm working on myself, I'm doing great, I love it. And there are other days where I'm just like, I don't know what anybody sees in me. I hate myself. I don't want to be around me anymore, and things like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, and then what I also hate, where people are like, oh, that's because you're borderline and you're splitting. I don't think I'm splitting, and I don't think I'm borderline just because I talk about times that I hate or love myself. Because it doesn't mean I have to only hate or love myself. You know what I'm saying? I think that is me seeing the gray. How am I fucking, anywho, splitting? I don't get it. But, and then people, you know, no, I'm about to start trauma dumping again. This is a little bit trauma dumpy, but we're just going to get through it real quick. I was SA'd, and people were telling me I was splitting because they were telling me that being fingered without consent was not rape. And I was telling them it was rape. Any form of sexual penetration without consent is rape, is what I was telling them. And they were telling me that I was splitting because I couldn't see the difference between good or bad. And I thought everything was either all bad or all good or things like that. And now I just feel gaslit. That's medical gaslighting, right? Because these are doctors telling me these things. Isn't that fucked up? Like, that's how I got diagnosed with being borderline personality disorder. I don't think I have borderline personality disorder because I don't feel that I fit the description according to the DSM-5 or whatever. I don't think that applies to me. But I'm somehow diagnosed with that, and I'm not diagnosed with what I think I have, which I think is fucking interesting. And the way I got my diagnosis though is an entirely different is the trauma dumping story. Also that was trauma dumping. Just that's nothing. That's just dipping your toe in the water to test the temperature. But yeah, my mental health story is a crazy one. It's not a good one. It was not a good one. Fucking But I have no faith too in the medical system, because from there it's like I don't know how to get help. I know I need help. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust the medical system built under white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, splitting. When you're diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, splitting is whenever you see things, apparently, is whenever you see things as all black or all white, as all one way or the other, and where you don't understand that there is a middle ground. And I think that I'm hard of hearing. And people tell me all the time I'm not hard of hearing because I'm not deaf enough. But deafness is a fucking spectrum. I'm pansexual. I say both because I've been told that bisexual is sexist, because then I'm not apparently attracted to all sexes, because I'm not attracted to all genders if I'm not bi. And then I've heard pansexuals sexist because pansexuals. I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what your gender is. I'll either fuck you or I won't, if I like you or I don't. You know what I mean? Ooh, I like the way I sounded, kind of. I'm like, I mean, your gender and your gender identity matters to me in terms of getting to know who you are. But agender doesn't matter to me in terms of being sexually attracted to a person. You know what I'm saying? But like fucking. So I feel like for them to then tell me that I only see things binary when I am the least binary person ever, even if I am colonially she, her, like, it's just wild to me. Like, I think that bitch was the one splitting on me. If that was the way it was explained to me. I'm not a professional. I am only speaking from my experience being told I have borderline personality disorder from University Medical Center, Tulane. Never fucking go there. Never fucking go there. But yeah, fucking. And you know what's interesting? I still talk to two of the people I was in there with. But yeah, you know, and honestly, I don't like the concept of black. I've been realizing, and like, cause you know, you grow. Ooh, I hit my elbow. You grow up like being like in this language. I never questioned the shit I said. Just grew up being told what words were, and then you go on saying them, right? Like learning words, and then now learning how much of what I say is fucked up and not okay to say is just like, whew. It's easier to be like, okay, I don't want to use this language anymore than to process all of that. See, Smalls, I don't even know the difference in bi pan anymore because I'm overthinking it anymore. Oh, I can't use words. I can't speak. I'm overthinking bi pansexuality because my sexuality journey. I've always known I've been attracted to men and women. But I remember distinctly trying to join the Gay Straight Alliance at Riverdale High School, where I went to school in New Orleans and Jefferson. And I wanted to join, but they were telling me because I'm attracted to men, I'm not gay. So I can't be in the Gay Straight Alliance. So, and I'm like, well, if you don't think I'm gay, if you think I'm straight, why can't I still be in the Gay Straight Alliance? What? But it was still weird. They're still trying to tell me I wasn't gay. Okay, so bi, two or more, your own gender, at least one or another. Pan, gender isn't a factor. Oh. So, okay, yeah. So I get your definitions where people so I feel like both could apply to me still. So like, people were telling me if you were bisexual, you were either saying so you know how you can be non-binary? You could be a woman or you could be a man with your identity, right? Well, you could be like many things. I don't know, words. But the arguments that I had, not what I think. So people were telling me if I can't be bisexual because if I'm identified as bisexual, that means I only like 2 out of those 3. That means I'm excluding non-binary people or I'm excluding men or women, right? And what? And then people were telling me if I'm pan, that means I'm not, I don't remember what their fucking logic was, but I've had people tell me I'm not pan either. So I don't know. Oh, damn, you had a bad experience at Tulane Hospital too. Yep, in 2010. Damn. I'm sorry you went through that. And I believe you. And okay, so people, I recently got into a fight with this person because she was sharing a link to Call University Medical Center talking about how if you're experiencing a mental crisis, go to University Medical Center. And it's a white, rich woman who I'm pretty sure has never fucking been there. Like, I don't know for sure, but I asked, but she didn't tell me, and even though I asked. And so I was like, I don't know if you've gone through there. If you have, let me know. But I went through there. I know I'm still in touch with other people that went through there. They fucked my life up. They fucked their shit up. They're horrible fucking people. I'm still not healed from what I went through there. You will only get worse. If you want to off yourself, do not go to Tulane University Medical Center. You will only get worse. It will make it way worse. And so this bitch was telling me that I didn't know what I was talking about. I was wrong. And that just because I had a bad experience doesn't mean other people would. And I asked her, did you even go? Did you even go? And she fucking blocked me. I don't think she fucking went. I don't know. It's like, maybe she did go, and she doesn't want to fucking tell me her story. No one has to tell me their medical history. But if you really had a good experience and you did go, why not share your good experience publicly? Like, why gaslit? Like, it just, anywho, fucking... Yeah, no, I agree with you, Smalls. I agree with you. I was just, like, that's why I was struggling, too, with, like, identity, though, with discussing other people, because I was like, even if I feel that way, like, if I agree with you, if that's how people really perceive me, it's like, I was having a hard time, like, from then on, discussing my sexuality with people generally, and I didn't start discussing my sexuality again until after college, because I just never felt safe to do so. But yeah, fucking I'm over here, let's talk about money, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Actually, did we talk about rock and roll? We talked about marijuana. We talked about sorry. But yeah, fucking no, I appreciate you being here. Okay.
Don't get too greedy, Mary.
No.
You're all greedy. You're all fucking greedy. Bruh, that is hilarious. I can't stop saying bruh. Fuck. If you had $1 every time I said bruh, you'd be rich.
I'm not getting greedy. I want my clients not to lose money.
Listen, do what you want to do.
I will.
We got an offer just now. I just forwarded it to you.
Here's what I don't get. $30,000. No, it was a $300,000. Is it $30,000 or $300,000? Damn, 9.2 million. No, that's 300. No, it was 2.9, 3.2. Oh, used to help facilitate a BIPAN workshop. Well, did the tech for the workshop. That's why I had the definitions memorized. Oh yeah, okay. I'm over here like, look, man, sexuality is weird. I don't like labels. I know labels are important in terms of having definitions and understanding boundaries and the concepts of a term. But I also feel like they're all arbitrary. Like, we're just making shit up. Like, some people are just making this shit up and we're just regurgitating the shit that was made up for us. I don't know, in a way. Like, there should be a new word for people who identify with both bi and pan. So, yeah. But I was just thinking of cast iron skillets. I don't know. Okay. I feel like we should just make cast iron skillets the new flag for people who identify as both bi and pansexual. Yeah.
The problem is, I know you need a $3 million offer, and this is at 2.9. Yeah, it's obviously up to you, but my suggestion is not to take it.
Okay, so let's do some math because I'm actually kind of curious. So they get, whoops, I'm actually pull up a calculator. Actually, I can't see it. Let's pull up a calculator on here so you can see it. Okay, so 2,900,000. Why aren't you giving me numbers, dude? I'm clicking. All right, that fucking thing don't like me. Okay, this one likes me. Here we go. So $2,900,000, right? So the real estate agent, they take between 5 and 6% commission as an agency, depending on what they negotiate. So let's say 5.5, because we don't know, and that's in the middle. Okay, so that's like, or wait, I know I'm doing this wrong. I need to move my decimal point over if I'm multiplying. Okay, that's what I did wrong here. All right, let's go again. Math is hard. I'm already bad at math, y'all, and like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. I don't, whatever. All right, so 5.5%. So we moved the decimal over twice. That looks right to me. Okay, so here we go. So that's $159,500 to the broker. Okay, so then they split that. I think if I remember correctly, the split is an 80-20 split where the real estate agent gets 80% and the broker gets 20% for them, if I'm not mistaken. It could be a 90-10, but I don't know why I have it in my head it's an 80-20. So let's assume that she gets 80% of that. So that's $127,600 that she is fighting for right now. Okay, I see what's happening here. All right. So I was like, does that money? I guess that does matter to her. I would be fighting like that for $127,000. You know what I mean? Like, so now we can kind of see, like, whenever they're negotiating over those numbers, like that's they're negotiating over hundreds of thousands of dollars in their paycheck. So I think that is interesting too. It's very Black Mirror-y in a way. But yeah, fucking, let's see.
You think this is the best offer that we're going to get?
Well, I think I can get someone else to step up higher. I do.
Is he gonna take it?
He hasn't said yet. He's giving me time to talk to other people. And
But here's the thing. She only had the rest of the day to get another offer. And if she was going to be able to get another offer by the rest of the day, she would have already had those conversations and deals in the work. And so she didn't have that. And so I guess, like, the point, this is just kind of her being stressed and flipping out about losing $100,000 from the deal that she could have been getting. But it's also like more money for her client too. I can totally see that. But at the end of the day, it's her client's decision to take the deal, so her client's happy with it. So, and she's still getting, 5%. Like, she's still getting a lot of money. But you know what? I just realized. So this is the entire commission they're getting from the 2.9 million. So she wanted 3.2 million. So that's $300,000 more. So that would have been twice as much money for her, I feel like. Off the top of my head, roughly. Fucking. So, yeah, I can kind of see why I'd be over here like I kind of be freaking out, but it is unrealistic to think you're going to get, unless you already have those conversations and deals in the vert, to think that you're going to be able to pull another one out your ass in one day. Like, you can't guarantee that. And to that effect, if you ever see some type of marketing person trying to claim they're going to give you clients and things in like one day or in a really short time frame, I don't trust it.
And see if I can get a higher offer. I'm going to get other people in. I'm going to call my other clients and see if he'll step up.
Clients really want an answer.
Jason, you're being a dick right now. It's been like 10 minutes.
Is he going to take it or not?
We will give you an answer.
I just think you're being dismissive about a good offer.
I'm not being dismissive. I am not being dismissive. I submitted it to them, and I gave them my professional opinion. They can do what they want. You know what? It's a shitty offer. Pull it.
It's not a shitty offer.
Yeah, it is.
You don't have any other offers.
I don't have any written offers, but I have other very interested buyers.
All these other
I do think it is interesting though. Like, I feel like perhaps, I wonder if this is really what they're like working together, or if they just needed some shit to film. So they're just going back and forth for some content to film. But maybe it's both. It could have been both. But I do think it's interesting though, the way he's kind of hounding her to have already contacted buyers. Like if this is filmed in the time frame that it looks to be filmed in and not cut, then it's like because I know the angles were cut, but I'm talking time wise. Fucking yeah, like when the fuck was she gonna have called them? Like, I'm sorry, let's pull some magical time out your ass. I don't know. I don't get that. Like, but the way he is talking to her though does kind of remind me of the pressure it can be to work for. Like I've had clients, like you set up the ads, they expect sales to be happening same day. And sometimes that does happen, but typically no. Typically with, it depends by industry. Typically with e-commerce, you're able to get sales within a week. But then when it comes to, like service related, more, bigger business, 30-day business to business investments, that's going to be, a month, like I said, 30 days, because of the purchase decision. But typically, like with more of like an e-commerce business to consumer type purchase, typically for the smaller purchases, like restaurants, clothes, things like that, with advertisements, typically people act on an ad within a week. If they don't act on an ad within a week, it's going to be something else that motivates them to go buy that thing, so it's like if you see an ad for a t-shirt and you don't buy it instantly, it's I think it reduces to like a 20% chance that you go back and buy it within a week. And if you don't buy it within a week, it's like a 0% chance you get it. And the same thing can happen with real estate. So she may have had leads in her pipeline because this is someone who has a history of closing deals. But if they were going to have any chance of closing anytime soon, they would have already gotten an offer in. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, I don't know. Because of the way that these deals happen and getting leads in, there's like a very small chance that any of her buyers would want it. But like, I guess it doesn't hurt to try.
Interested buyers, have you called them?
I am if he stops like talking to me. Ha.
He is good at those low offers, man.
I do think it's interesting that they're marketing this as brush up your negotiation skills by binging Selling Sunset. Selling Sunset can be interesting to watch from a marketing standpoint because watching how they advertise themselves can give you content ideas, can give you promotional ideas, and watching the business relationships form and how the social interactions impact their business transactions. Those things are interesting to see, but it's not like you're gonna, they don't sit there and like give you tips, you know, for closing deals. They don't really talk about their methodology of closing deals. The first 3 seasons, I feel like you get the most information you're gonna get out of sales from them. The last 4 seasons are all pure drama. And speaking of, so this next live I want to watch, it starts in about 42 minutes, from Boss Attorney Bri. Bre Tiesi is a Selling Sunset cast member, but she wasn't in this. She's in the last 2 seasons, and it looks like everything that we were watching from this is from the first 3 seasons, I think. So this is the show that this person is on. She's a real estate agent in the last 2 seasons of Selling Sunset. And it's interesting to me because she actually hasn't closed a deal on Selling Sunset. Because like she came in super hot, like she was ready to close deals, but I feel the way that she like, I think she does a good job with showing the houses in terms of she clearly knows the house. She does a good job with answering questions, but when it comes to the closing portion, I don't think she's mastered the art of, she can generate leads, she knows her offer, but I don't think she's mastered the art of either aligning the offer to the lead or necessarily being able to close it in a way. Because like, she's, when you watch it, she's been showing like some of her clients like this houses for years, and it's like, okay, well, when are they going to buy a house? And I know on some level it could just be the client, like, because clients will be, when they're spending bigger purchases, they're not going to buy, even if they have the money, they're not going to buy something just to buy it easily. Some of them will make impulse buys, but typically, you know, you're going to you're gonna buy something you want. Like, you're not gonna get something like with a house. It's a big fucking investment. So yeah, this bitch hasn't sold shit yet on the show. I don't know if she's going to. I don't know if she'll be on the future shows. I don't know what happened with this show, but I know what was happening with the last show was last season. It was up in the air whether or not she'd stay on the show. But okay, let's see what the rest of this video says, and then I'm going to finish my thoughts on the Bre Tiesi situation and wrap that up while we segue into Boss Attorney Bri's live. Okay, I lied because that was fucking it. But yeah, so next I'll be going into this live. It's linked in the description of this video. And we're gonna be talking about Bre Tiesi from Selling Sunset. And fucking Bre, her character-wise, you know, everybody likes to comment on the whole Nick Cannon situation. I don't think that's my place to comment. I'm acknowledging it because it's one of her biggest storylines in the series. So I feel like part of the way that she's portrayed in this series could have harmed her real estate business. And I think also her relationships in the series, where some of the real estate agents, they took some time to warm up to her. Because the first season she's on, she didn't seem to have as smooth of a time as she had. I felt like she got along a little bit better with some of the cast members the next season. I don't know, but then again, she still had conflicts with certain people the next season. But anywho, fucking, I feel like the business relationships are impacting her ability to make sales, because it's all about business relationships. Just like we were seeing with that first negotiation with Maya and Brett at the beginning, the reason that she was able to get Brett to accept that lower offer was in part because of their relationship. Whereas, you know, like, I feel Chelsea, and I do admire Chelsea Lazkani for her business prowess in terms of, I know she has had to work harder than anyone on that show to get where she is. But fucking, I do feel that her relationship, like that, she very much probably has like a I'm coming for your money attitude. I think she's even said that on the show. Um, and I think that attitude, coupled with some of the reservations she had against Bre Tiesi for having a kid out of wedlock, with a baby with Nick Cannon, who had multiple kids with different women. I feel like that was an interesting storyline because now what's happening in the media is apparently Chelsea Lazkani may be getting a divorce. And which I don't think is something to be gossiping about. I just think it's an interesting social issue to me to see how she was very upset in the show that Bre Tiesi, whose next live we're about to see is on, or I'm about to go see, hopefully you'll join me, fucking Bre Tiesi's situation was something that was such a big issue to Chelsea, and now Chelsea is about to be divorced, and that was the same problem was why she was so having such a big issue with Bre. So I do think that's interesting, and I'm very curious if Bre Tiesi stays on the show, how does that play out in the future? How does that relationship go? Do they bond more because now they're in a similar situation, or does that tear them apart more? Because I could see Bre Tiesi going either way. I could see Bre Tiesi being like, bitch, you treat me like shit, so fuck you. Or I could see Bre Tiesi being like, alright, I know what the fuck you're going through, like, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested in like I've watched the social dynamics, because I think it's also interesting as to how these social dynamics tie into business relationships. And I do think that's all interesting in how business relationships, social relationships uphold cultures and colonialism and communities. You know what I mean? So I've been reflecting on all of that and putting that back into my trauma dumping, because my whole thing with my whole essay, I had to rebuild my entire sense of community and business, because my entire business, all of my customers were built on a community that supported my rapist. You know what I'm saying? So business and ethics, which I don't think can go together. Can they go together? Under capitalism, I don't know. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. Fucking, I just really am looking forward to the downfall of our current society as it is. Not in like an I want the purge type of way, but in like an I want tribal sovereignty type of way. But fucking yeah. So I linked the video in the description. I'm gonna watch Boss Attorney Bri next. That is on in about 30-ish, 35 minutes. It says 8:45 Central my time. Right now it's 8:10 Central my time. So if you're watching live with me, please join me there. And if you're watching this, please go watch that later. Go watch that on the replay. It's gonna be great. I don't know what the fuck is happening with Bre Tiesi's employee, but hopefully this live will give you some background information of the Selling Sunset show she was on and her place in the show and what her storyline was on in the show. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't mention, one more thing. Bre Tiesi, where she left off in her storyline was whether or not she would be staying with Selling Sunset. But you know what I want to do real quick? Let's just look up the Oppenheim group site. And let's just see if Bre Tiesi is still on here as an agent. Where the fuck is that at? I've stalked their website before, but I really feel like they moved things around. Okay, so because this bitch was saying she was gonna fucking leave, so now I'm curious, is she still on here? Oh, okay, she's right here. Alright, okay. So she didn't leave. So her storyline with Selling Sunset, maybe she's not on the show anymore, but she's still definitely at the agency according to their website. So her storyline where they last on the last season of Selling Sunset, as of the time of this live stream, I think they have another season coming out. That might be their last season. I don't know. But I don't know why I think it's their last season. I've been reading so much shit lately. Sometimes it kind of will blend together. That's why I always try to link sources in my videos. But yeah, so I have that in my head, so that could be a thing. But anywho, where they left off with her storyline in Selling Sunset was whether or not she was going to stay on the show. And so she is still on the website, so we'll see. I'm very interested in Bri's live. I have no clue why she's being sued. I didn't know she was getting sued until I saw Bri, Boss Attorney Bri, pop up with a live stream that it was going to happen. And so I didn't do any Googling into that because I just wanted to be excited and enjoy the live stream when it comes on. So I'm going to do my research for any questions I have about it after the live stream or during. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what's happening with that next, and hopefully this gave you some good background for it. And I'm going to go, smoke some weed and chill. I don't smoke weed. That's bad for you. It's actually, I don't know what I understand about Christians, man. Genesis says all herbs are good for you. Okay, so why are you against weed? All right, God told me to smoke it, bitches. Yes. Thank you, Smalls, for joining me. I'm gonna see you in the Bri High Live. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good night. And yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna end this bitch too. Good night, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. And yeah. Looking for my button. Thanks for watching. You might want to adjust the volume after all of this because a loud music is going to play. So yeah, adjust the volume. And then if you're coming to these lives anyway, I do have a loyalty program, nolodevchild.com/loyalty. If you sign up for my site as a member and you follow the check-in procedure, you can get points just for showing up to these lives anyway. So I just want to let you know about that. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I always have a really hard time saying goodbye because, saying goodbye really just kind of feels like you're Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? Over here just like, well done, Wilson. But anywho, yeah, so thank you for being here and goodbye.